Transcript. AI. Voice optimized. 30 words. The quietest teacher in school used to choke out men twice her size. Paper explodes mid-air. Laughter slices through the noise. Ms. Riley Parker stands at the front, hands still, eyes steady. Mason lifts his phone recording. He grins. She's not making it past Friday. A wad of paper hits her shoulder. Another lands by her feet. Someone boos. She doesn't speak. She doesn't blink. You think she's scared. You think she's frozen. But in 90 seconds, she'll drop 3 boys without breaking a sweat. And none of them will ever forget it. This isn't a story about violence. It's about control, and why the strongest people are the last to raise their hands. Stay. What happens next will change how you see strength forever. A small mirror. A woman. Alone. Riley pins her teacher badge to her blazer. Miss R. Parker. English. Brand new. Still stiff. She adjusts the collar once, twice, takes a breath. Beside her is a book. Why I Teach. Cover worn. Pages soft. She runs her fingers across a scar, faint thin, just under the sleeve. Old pain. Quiet now. She reaches for her phone. Swipes open a photo. 2 women. Smiling. One much older. A message scribbled underneath. You saved me. Now save them. The bell rings in the distance. Riley doesn't move yet. Outside, chaos waits. Inside, she repeats it once like a vow. Teach. Don't fight, but not every class lets you choose. She was 12. Locker door slammed beside her head. Boys laughing. Girls pretending not to see. No one helped. Not even the teachers. But one woman did. Ms. Elaine Myers, history teacher. She pulled Riley out of a fight once, held her hand while her lip bled onto a math test. She didn't lecture. She listened. That was the first time Riley felt safe in a classroom. That safety became a promise. So, years later, after all the tournaments, after headlines, trophies, after the adrenaline wore off, she didn't go back to the cage. She walked into schools. Not to punish, to protect. Because sometimes the strongest defense is simply being there when no one else stays. A garage turned dojo. Mats taped at the corners, heavy bags swaying gently. Riley alone barefoot. Her fists move slow, deliberate. Each jab, each breath measured. Controlled. She's not training for power. She's remembering silence. On the shelf, a gold medal with dust. Beside it, a framed newspaper, Parker wins national MMA title, folded to hide her face. Her knuckles rest against the photo for just a second. She pulls back, tapes her hands again. In her mind, a memory sharp and fast, a girl screaming a cage door closing an opponent not standing back up. Her voice breaks the quiet. No more damage. The bell timer rings. Riley exhales. One more breath before the real fight starts tomorrow. She could have stayed. More titles, bigger sponsors, a name in every ring. But after the accident, the girl with the shattered elbow, the silence in the crowd, the way Riley couldn't breathe even when the match was over. Something shifted. She replayed it for months. Not the win, the look in the girl's eyes when she couldn't stand. Winning stopped feeling like victory. It started feeling like loss. So she left. People asked why. Wasted potential, they whispered. She could have been a legend. But Riley knew. What's the point of power if all it ever does is hurt someone smaller? Now she teaches. Not because she gave up fighting, but because she finally understood what was worth fighting for. First day. Gray skies. Lincoln Academy stands tall but tired, cracks in the paint, a camera blinking at the gate. Riley steps out of her car. Back straight. Book bag on one shoulder. Inside, lesson plans and wrist wraps. She passes students huddled in corners, hoods up, eyes sharp. Laughter too loud. Shoving that doesn't look like play. She walks the halls. Old posters peeling. A fight already breaking up at the stairwell. At the office, Principal Brennan doesn't look up from his screen. You're with 11D, last door on the left. Pause. Brace yourself. They've chewed through 3 teachers this year. Riley nods, doesn't flinch. She turns down the hallway. The sounds behind the door grow louder. She exhales, then knocks. The door creaks open. Silence just for a second. Then chaos returns. A paper ball hits the wall beside her. Someone fake coughs. Another one. Ms. Riley walks in, places her bag down, chalk in hand. Tyler Kane leans back in his chair, arms behind his head. Smirk, like a signature. He nods to the back. Another student lifts a chair, places it on Riley's desk, legs up. The class laughs. Tyler adds, "We like our teachers standing." Builds character. Riley doesn't speak. She gently moves the chair aside, wipes chalk dust from the board. Writes in bold, "Choose. React. Consequences." She underlines it once. Tyler whispers to the guy next to him, "She'll break by Friday." But she heard him, and she smiles. Riley pulls out the attendance sheet, keeps her tone light. "Let's start simple. Roll call." As she sits, a quiet splat. She pauses, looks down. A dark blotch of ink spreads across her skirt. Blue, thick, still wet. Gasps, snickers. Someone coughs out a laugh. Tyler doesn't hide his grin. He leans forward. Looks like someone needs diaper duty. More laughter. Riley stands up slowly. No reaction, no glare. Just wipes the ink with a tissue from her bag. Then folds it, places it in the trash. She turns back to the board. Writes nothing. Just underlines the word react twice. The class quiets, only for a moment. Tyler taps his pen. Round 1. She's still here, but even he feels it. She's not rattled. She's waiting. In the back row, Mason taps his phone screen. Recording. Editing. Smirking. Text overlay flashes. New teacher challenge. Day 1. Goal. Make her quit in a week. He whispers to Tyler thumbnails already gold. Ink stain and everything. Tyler chuckles. Wait till tomorrow. Riley glances back, just for a second. Their phones drop to their laps, guiltless on the surface. She doesn't say a word, just keeps writing. You always have a choice. Mason hits upload. By the time the bell rings, comments are rolling in. She's toast. Bet she cries by day 3. She's cute, though. Tyler reads them all. Then posts, watch what happens tomorrow. And Riley. She quietly erases the board. The word consequences stays. Second day. Same classroom. Same faces. Louder this time. Riley opens her notes. Before she speaks, Tyler snatches the mic from the podium. Class today's lesson, How to Survive a Week with Miss Black Belt Barbie. Laughter erupts. He mimics her voice, pacing like a stand-up comic. Violence isn't the answer. He pauses, bows. Unless you know jujitsu. Even Mason laughs this time. Riley stays still. Lets it breathe. Lets them waste their energy. Then she walks to the board. Erases nothing. Writes one line beneath yesterday's silence isn't weakness. Tyler watches her hand move. Frown forming. She didn't react the way he wanted, again, and that unsettles him more than he expected. Bathroom door clicks shut. Riley locks it, checks each stall empty. She leans against the sink, hands gripping porcelain, knuckles white, ink stain still faint on her skirt. Today, just words, but louder, meaner. She turns the faucet on, lets cold water run over her wrists, not to wash, just to breathe. In the mirror, she sees it a flicker of something she thought she'd buried. Doubt. She presses her lips together, shakes her head, whispers, "You didn't come here to win, you came here to stay." A paper towel crumples in her fist, drops in the trash. She fixes her collar, steps out. Bell rings. Time for round 3. This time, she's ready to move first. The faculty office smells like cold coffee and quiet complaints. Riley sits across from Principal Brennan. He barely looks up. "I've had 3 emails from Tyler's father this week." Pause. One of them copied the school board. She nods once. Waits. "You're new. I get that. But Tyler Kane is sensitive. High-profile family. He finally meets her eyes. Try not to escalate. Riley folds her hands. I haven't. Good. Let's keep it that way. He slides a folder aside like it's already decided. She stands. If I lose their respect on day 2, I'll never get it back. He doesn't answer. Outside, a notification lights up her phone. New teacher challenge. Day 2 hits 500K views. Riley exhales. Respect or fear. She walks back to class. The classroom buzzes louder than usual. Riley steps in. The talking doesn't stop. On her desk, a sticky note. Still here? Impressive. Signed with a sloppy T. Tyler lounges at the back feet on the seat in front of him, eyes locked on her, grinning without warmth. Riley doesn't react. She places the note in her bag. Begins class. 10 minutes in, Tyler stands, no warning. Walks to the board, grabs the chalk, draws a cage, then stick figures. 1 down, 1 standing. MMA 101. Winner gets silence. The class laughs, unsure. Mason records again. Riley walks up, stares at the board, then erases just 1 word above it. Winner leaves the cage. You don't have to win to be strong. Tyler clenches the chalk and doesn't say another word. Mason watches her. Eyes narrowed. Phone still in his hand, recording by reflex, but this time, less sure. He scrolls the comments under his latest video. Laughing emojis. Mocking bets. Day 3. Breakdown incoming. Bet she hits someone soon. Teacher cage match win. But one comment sits different. She doesn't flinch. That's power. He looks up. Riley's walking between desks, pausing at each student's name card, pronouncing them carefully. No one notices. But Mason does. She stops by his desk. Just says, "You're Mason, right?" Soft. Steady. No judgment. He nods. Doesn't know why he feels like he should put the phone away. But he does. For the first time. Something's changing. And he knows it starts with her. Lunch period. Tyler leans against his locker, scrolling through the comments on Mason's clip. He doesn't laugh. Not this time. She's making you look soft, bro. Bet she teaches meditation next. Behind the smug posts, he feels it control slipping. He turns to Mason. She's not walking out of this week clean. Mason shrugs. She hasn't broken yet. Tyler smirks. She will. He pulls a set of keys from his pocket. A click. Locker opens. Inside, an old pair of MMA gloves. Let's see how she handles it. Without an audience. Later that day, Riley finds a note on her windshield. Meet me at the parking lot after 5. Alone. No name. But she knows. And she folds it. Without flinching. 5:02 p.m. The school's nearly empty. The sun low stretching shadows across the parking lot. Riley walks with slow, steady steps. No bag. No phone in hand. Just calm. Every car seems louder in this silence. She reaches the far corner where the cameras don't reach. Where no one's supposed to go. Tyler waits. 2 boys behind him, taller, broader. Arms crossed, eyes mocking. No words. Just that grin. The one that thinks he's in control. Riley stops a few feet away. Looks at each of them. Then at the gloves in Tyler's hand. This, your idea of detention. He laughs. You said consequences, right? Riley doesn't respond. Just drops her coat. No threat, no fear, only clarity. One of the boys steps forward. Big frame. Loud breath. He cracks his knuckles like this is a joke. Like she's a warm-up. Riley doesn't move. Feet planted. Hands open at her sides. He lunges sloppy. Rushed. She sidesteps. Turns. Slides behind him, one arm across his shoulder, the other around his waist, a clean sweep. He hits the ground. Hard. No cheers, just shoes scuffling on pavement. The other boy hesitates. Tyler watches mouth half open. She's not even trying. Riley straightens up, brushes dirt from her pants. This isn't a fight, Tyler. It's a warning. No yelling, no threats, just breath. Steady, cold, clear. And for the first time, Tyler doesn't smile. Tyler steps forward. No backup, no smirk, just ego tightening in his jaw. So, that's it. You think you're in control now? Riley doesn't answer. She lowers her stance barely, just enough to be ready. He fakes a punch. She doesn't flinch. He swings wide. She ducks, pivots, wraps his arm, rotates behind. Her forearm presses gently at his neck. Not choking, just reminding. His body tenses. His breath shortens. "You gonna hit me?" he spits. "No," she says quietly. "I'm going to let go, and you're going to decide who you want to be." She releases, steps back. He doesn't move. Behind them, Mason watches, not recording. This isn't content anymore. It's something else, something real. Tyler stays frozen. Sweat beads at his temple. Riley's steps echo as she walks away, back straight, pace, calm. She doesn't look back. "You could have dropped me," he mutters. "Why didn't you?" She stops, turns slightly, not smiling. "Because I don't need to win to be stronger than you." Silence. Tyler glances at his friends. One still on the ground holding his ribs, the other already gone. He kneels down, picks up the gloves, looks at them, then throws them into the trash. No one cheers, no music swells, just the quiet sound of something cracking, and maybe starting to shift. Across the lot, Mason stands still, phone in pocket, eyes wide. For once, he's not watching for views. He's watching for truth. Later that night, Mason sits on his bed, laptop open. The old clips of Riley still on screen, edited, mocked, looped. He hovers over the delete button, hesitates, clicks, gone. Then a new window opens, a fresh video. This time, no music, no captions, just raw footage. Riley disarming, defending, walking away. He adds one sentence, "Real strength is quiet." He uploads it, no hashtags, no bait. Then stares at the screen. One view, then 20, then 500 in a minute. But the comments, they're different. She's the kind of teacher I wish I had. Why does this feel important? Mason leans back, exhales. For once, he didn't post for the laughs. He posted because it mattered. By morning, the video hits 1.2 million views. No music, no cuts, just truth. Students whisper in the hallway. Teachers glance at Riley differently, not afraid, curious, maybe even impressed. Tyler walks past her classroom, doesn't look inside, but slows down. Principal Brennan calls her in, his voice, tight hands clenched. "What you did? It went viral." "I didn't post it," she replies. "I know who did." He hesitates. "You laid hands on a student, Miss Parker." She meets his stare. "I protected myself. That's legal, and it's on record." He exhales, taps his pen, says nothing. Behind her, Mason watches through the glass. No phone in hand, just eyes steady. This time, he's not the one hiding. She's not the one on trial. The door closes behind her. Riley steps back into the hallway. Something's different. The stares aren't mocking. They're watching, waiting. A student at her locker straightens up. Another holds the door without being asked. Mason catches up, quiet. "You okay?" She nods. "I deleted the old clips." He swallows. It wasn't right. She looks at him. Really looks. No praise, just quiet acknowledgement. "You changed the story." "No," he says. "You did. I just hit record. In the next class, students sit faster. Phones stay in pockets. Even Tyler is in his seat, eyes down, shoulders tight. Riley writes one word on the board, choice, and beneath it, smaller, every day is one. Class ends. Chairs scrape back, backpacks zip. Riley starts erasing the board. Then a voice behind her, "Miss Parker." She turns. It's Tyler. No swagger, no smirk. He stands still, hands in his hoodie pocket, eyes low. I watched the video too. A pause. "Not proud of myself." She waits. "They all said you humiliated me, But you didn't. You stopped me before I did something worse. He pulls something from his pocket, a folded slip of paper. My dad wants to file something, but I told him not to. Riley takes the note, doesn't read it. That's not for me, she says. That's for you. Tyler nods, exits quietly. Outside, Mason watches again. Told you she was different. After school. The classroom is quiet again, but not empty. Riley rearranges desks into a circle, prints a single sign, The Quiet Guardians, Thursdays after class, tapes it to the door. Mason enters first, then a girl from the back row, then two more. Not much talking, just presence. Tyler steps in last. No words, just a nod. He takes the far seat. Riley doesn't lecture. She sits with them, equal. This isn't detention. It's a place for people who've been hurt or who've done the hurting. No one responds, and that's okay. From the hallway, a small shadow lingers. A girl hesitates. Half step in, half out. Riley notices. You can come in when you're ready. She doesn't move. Yet. The door creaks. Barely. Everyone turns. No one speaks. A girl steps in quiet, small sleeves tugged over her hands. Emily Tran. Eyes down. Backpack clutched tight. She doesn't sit, just stands inside the doorframe. Riley gives a soft nod. Doesn't push. You're safe here. Emily's eyes flick across the circle Tyler Mason, a girl from math class. All silent, all watching gently. She takes 2 steps forward. Still standing, still unsure, then pulls a folded paper from her sleeve, hands shaking, places it on Riley's desk. She turns to leave. Stops. Whispers almost gone. I don't want to feel afraid forever, then walks out. Riley unfolds the paper. What sentence? Someone's hurting me, and no one knows. Riley reads the note again, then folds it carefully. No reaction on her face, but her fingers tremble just once. The circle stays quiet. They all feel it. Something deeper than jokes or challenges or detention slips. Tyler looks down. Mason shifts in his seat. Riley finally speaks soft, steady. Sometimes the strongest voice is the one that hasn't spoken yet. She looks toward the door. Emily's gone, but her words hang in the air like breath on glass. Riley walks to the board, wipes everything, then writes in clean strokes, "No one fights alone." Underneath, smaller, "Next Thursday, we listen." No one claps, no one smiles, but no one leaves. This is no longer just a classroom. The next morning, Riley slides the folded note into a sealed envelope. Marks it, confidential. She walks it to the counselor's office, leaves it on the desk. No name, no story, just truth in quiet form. On the way back, she passes Principal Brennan in the hall. He glances at her longer than usual. "That club you're running," he says. "It's unofficial," she nods, "but necessary." He doesn't argue, just adjusts his tie. "Keep it small and clean." She gives a simple reply. "It's already real, whether it fits your folder or not." He doesn't stop her. Back in class, a sticky note waits on her desk. From Tyler, "If she ever speaks, we'll listen." Riley keeps it. Whispers spread. Not rumors, just movement. Something different in the air. A hallway shove. Stops halfway. A cruel joke dies mid-sentence. A hand reaches for a dropped book without sarcasm. In the lunchroom, 2 kids from the club sit together. No words, just shared silence. Emily walks by. Still quiet, but now her hoodie's unzipped, her hands not clenched. She sees Riley at the faculty table. Their eyes meet for a second. No smile, no nod. Just trust. In class, a student scribbles on their desk, "Not alone anymore." Riley sees it, doesn't erase it, just adds below, "Good. No lesson planned today. Instead, a circle. A question on the board. What would have helped you sooner?" The bell rings. No one moves. After class, the room empties slowly. Riley gathers her things. Beneath a stack of papers, an envelope. No name. She opens it carefully. Inside, a single sheet. Handwritten. Slanted. Tight. I still don't know how to talk, but watching you made me think I might not be broken. I don't want to hide anymore. Please don't stop the club. Her eyes don't water, but her breath catches like the air shifted around her. She folds the letter, places it in her drawer beside Tyler's note, next to the sticky from Mason. They're not trophies, they're reminders. She locks the drawer, looks at the empty chair Emily once stood near. Next week, she'll sit. Outside, the wind picks up, but for once, it doesn't feel cold. The next Thursday. Same circle, same room, but this time more chairs. Riley unlocks the door. One by one they enter. Tyler, Mason, the quiet girl from art class. Someone new. Then Emily. She walks in, head high, hands not hidden. She doesn't speak, but she sits. And that's enough. Riley starts the session with one sentence. You don't need to say everything, just enough to stay. Cut to blackboard louder than silence, written in chalk. Narration fades in. If you've ever felt voiceless or been the reason someone else did, you're not alone. The fight isn't in fists, it's in staying, in listening, in choosing to care. Text on screen. Next episode. Emily's story begins. CTA. Comment with one word. Stay.